What's up, gang? Case here with our CrossFit strength work for Monday, February 22nd. Revisiting our pull-up and handstand push-up strength work from last week. Same number of sets. We're just extending each round by 5 seconds. Our goal is to get a couple more reps on each movement per set compared to last week. For our kipping pull-ups today, we've actually got a few options. One is kipping pull-ups. If you're not quite ready for the full pull-up, then we can do 35 seconds of a core swing. And then if we want to take it up one notch from the pull-up, we can practice 35 seconds of muscle ups or a muscle up skill drill that I'll go over in just a moment. Today is not the day to try to get your first muscle up from full height. We'll go through a full muscle up progression after the CrossFit Open this year. If you already have your muscle up and you're confident with those, you're welcome to do those today. But once again, today is not the day to try your first muscle up ever. Instead, if you're going to go that route and you want to work on the muscle up, then let's practice that skill work that we're going to go over in just a second. On those kipping pull-ups, hands just outside the shoulders. Remember, we want to wrap our thumbs around the bar, start in that hollow position, and then we always have that tight snap back and forth, keeping those legs long, throwing the hips, push away at the top. Try not to make that swing too over-exaggerated. Think about making it quick and compact. If we're not quite ready for that full pull-up, we can still get a lot of grip work as well as shoulder and core work by executing that core swing for 35 seconds. Remember, this is more of a push and pull with the arms and a flexing and extending of the spine. We're actually trying not to swing our legs. We want to keep our legs long and tight. On pull-ups or core swings, you don't have to go 35 seconds unbroken. You're just accumulating as much as you can during that 35-second period. If we opt for that muscle up skill work today, set those rings up about belly button height. And then we will start with rings right over top of our shoulders, feet out in front and long, and we're going to keep those heels on the ground. When you grip on this muscle up, you want to use more of what's called a false grip, where you're essentially letting this ring lay in your wrist and then pulling the thumb back through. It's going to give you more of a turned over position, which is also going to help you with the transition here in just a moment. Pulling our sternum up towards the rings, and then once we get to the rings, pushing that chest through. You'll see my feet get almost weightless. They slide back a little bit, and then I can go ahead and press out into that ring dip position, planting the feet right back down where they started, getting down into a deep dip position, and then as we come back through, we want to keep those rings tight against us before we sit back down. If you need to, readjust those feet before your next rep. Once we start going full speed, transition, press out, control that down, stay tight on the way back down, and that's going to help you build the requisite strength for those muscle ups. Same thing there. You'll work for 35 seconds. Doesn't need to be unbroken, just accumulating as much work over that time as possible. We'll move on to our handstand push-ups now. All right, gang, talking about our handstand push-ups for today. 3 options: kipping handstand push-up, slow handstand push-up negative if you don't have that kipping yet. And then if you're not ready for that slow negative with your back facing the wall, then we can go pike push-up with our toes on the box. Whichever version we use, we want to make sure that we're bringing our head all the way down to the ground under control, working that full range of motion. On that kipping handstand push-up, don't forget, when we come down to the ground, we don't want our head to be right between our hands. We want to be more in a tripod position. So as you start to break towards the ground, your head and your back are actually going to break a little closer to the wall so that you're in more of that balanced tripod in the bottom. Other big thing I want to focus on today is keeping tension through our triceps and our shoulders throughout, so that we're not resting on our neck in the bottom, but we're keeping tension through those shoulders, which will help us drive back to the top and will also protect that neck. Always give yourself enough time to get into a good tall position before you go. Head and back break towards the wall. Low back touches the wall as we tuck knees down to the chest. Keep tension through those arms. Then we're throwing those feet towards the ceiling. Back out to full extension at the top. At the top, try to get your ears in line with your biceps. One more time, breaking down, throwing back up, find that full extension every time. Working for 35 seconds, accumulating as many reps as you can. If you're not quite ready for that kipping handstand push-up, then we'll use that slow negative. Mechanics are the same. Controlling for at least 3 seconds all the way down. When you get to the bottom, kick down and then kick back up. Last option today is going to be that pike push-up with our toes on the box. Use a ab mat for a head target, and we're still going to aim for that same tripod position in the bottom. So getting hips high, head breaks a little bit forward of the hands, and then as we press back to the top, getting that head back in line with our biceps. That's going to be it for our strength work today, and we'll see you back soon for our